friends, how are you doing? Welcome back to Bubba's EDC. I am your friendly neighborhood Bubba. Work is done for the week, at least W2 work, and went and got my hair cut. I think it looks all right. She was a little aggressive with my head. I never had her cut my hair before, but she did a good job, so that's okay. And she was quick, and she didn't talk. I'll tell you, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a stylist that wants to chat the whole time, because I like having my head rubbed, and I just sit there and quiet enjoy it. It's relaxing for me. And so she didn't talk. That was nice. There was an older gentleman in there who wouldn't shut up. Like his hair was done being cut before I even got called back to the chair, and he just stood up there by the counter and kept talking to the older lady who cut his hair. And he was talking, apparently he had talked about finance and all kind of stuff while she was cutting his hair, and then he kept switching subjects and ended up on Charlie Kirk, which is fine. But then he's trying to show her the video, and y'all, it took everything in me not to be mean and rude to that older man, because that video does not need to be shared. Okay, the video, you are not doing anybody a service by sharing the assassination video. As respectfully as I can say this, don't share the video. Don't. You're just giving credit to the evil. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. I wish I never would have seen it the one time. I will not watch it again. I did not see the video of the young lady, Ilya, or something like that her name was. Forgive me, I don't know her name. Who was brutally murdered on that bus or that train in Charlotte. Did not see it. Will not see it. No. So, there's my soapbox. I'm off of that. But, headed home for the weekend. My son went out with a buddy to go see a movie. So, he's gone. And my youngest has a birthday party to go to tonight. In a couple hours. Well, shoot, maybe in the next hour. I don't know. So for a while there, it'd just be me and the daughter at home. I've had this sitting at my store for 3 days. I did finally remember to get my lacquer to coat the coasters with. Here's the problem. So I'd had two different types of clear coat in the garage, right? The one, my son had tested both when I was at work one day back before the Kentucky Knife Show, and he determined one was better than the other. I think it was this one, the 30-minute dry. The other one is Varathane, and it was a 2-hour dry time. So I hope it's this one, because I had both of them sit. Well, I ran out of this one, so I started using the Varathane, because I'd let stuff sit overnight anyways after I sprayed it. That's just what I do. Better safe than sorry, right? So I had used the Varathane, had both of them sitting there, and I couldn't remember which one was which, and he couldn't remember either. I went back through our text messages, and he never out and out said it in the text messages, so it must have been a verbal between him and I, where he's like, Dad, this is the one that's on the table, because the one was off the table at one point and one was on the table, and I just couldn't remember. So I hope this is it. Either way, they both work, but this one dries quicker. So if I had to move them or something, you feel me? So be doing that. I had a request to try to do another logo on a coaster. I told him up front, I said, man, you got a lot of fine detail on there. I said, it might take me some work with it, when there's more time involved, that changes things, a little bit, depending how much. Now, there are some people who I'm real tight with, okay, that I've been talking to for nearly a year, and like we talk personal, we share personal things, and it's like, them guys, I give stuff, okay? I can't give everything away. I give a lot of stuff away. Like, I've given a lot of Hanks. I've given quite a few coasters away so far. I give a lot. But I can't give everything away, got to pay for the product, so if some of you see that I give stuff away sometimes, but then you asked about it and I said, oh, it's this much, nothing personal, but those who I'm really, really close to, I know you understand. Sometimes I explain things like I'm talking to children, because I work with some grown-ups who act like they're children. Plus, I'm a father of children, so forgive me. I'm not meaning to talk down to anybody. I'm sure you all understand. But I certainly try to do right by people. And I don't think when I do charge for the stuff, I don't think I charge too much. But anywho, so I was going to say, I had one coaster, one logo I worked on for a brother who's a good friend. And I put some time into that logo. I mean, I bet you I put, like, just taking his image and converting it, to be able to do it on the laser. I probably put hour and a half, 2 hours into that. I haven't sent it to him yet because I'm not really happy with it. I got 2 or 3 different outcomes. Because I kept changing, so I'd do one and I would change something. I'd go in and clean up a line or delete a line, move some nodes around. If you don't know what nodes are, it's just little points on an arc. If you have a straight line, it's just one node on each end. But when you have an arc, there can be many nodes, and you can manipulate. Learned all that when I started doing stuff with the CNC a couple years ago. So I got some time involved in that. Like if somebody, off the street that I didn't know had sent me a logo like that, and they wanted me to convert it, I mean, I would have to tell them up front, that would have been, I'd have had to charge you just up front before I could even, work on that logo, because I knew it was going to take time. But it does look pretty. It looks pretty cool. It really does. But I'm just not 100% happy with it. So we'll see if I can't mess with. I hate to keep having to sand coasters. So I don't know. I got 2 or 3 different ones. I might just send him all of them and be like, hey, I don't know which one you're gonna like better, but here's 2 or 3 different versions. Like some of them, this part is a solid color. Some of them, it's just the outline. I mean, I think they all look cool. I just wish they were all exactly the same. And now that it's been several weeks since I've messed with it, hopefully I can remember what I was doing. I did save it, but nonetheless. Anyhow, that was a weird ramble. I went when I left the Great Clips, I went in next door to GameStop and picked up these 2 things for my wife. My wife loves Stitch, the Disney cartoon. She has, I don't know, 8 or 10 Stitch shirts. She has Stitch socks, Stitch coffee mug. I mean, she just likes it. So these are their mystery boxes, but they were, all their clearance was buy one, get one. So instead of regularly being $9 a piece, I got them, both of them, for like $7 and some change. So I hope they're both different, because you don't know, it's a mystery. So I hope they're both different. They're little mini Funko Pops. I think she'll get a kick out of that, because she likes old Stitch. And Stitch is cool. I know there's a lot of people who are anti-Disney, and look, as far as a company, I am too. Okay, the stances they've taken over the years, the way they've leaned way left. If there was such a thing as a dead person rolling over in their grave, I'm sure Walt Disney would roll over in his grave. But, I've got good memories with Disney stuff as a kid. Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, Justin Morgan had a horse, Follow Me Boys, The Happiest Millionaire, Zorro with Guy Williams, the best Zorro ever made. The Disney episodes with Zorro, Guy Williams' Zorro, best Zorro ever made, in my opinion. I'll die on that mountain. So I don't stand with what Disney is now, but I have good memories with Disney, and my family likes some characters and stuff, so that's why we're gonna go to Disney. And I know some people are against it. I've actually had somebody come at me kind of harsh about it in the community. I say in the community. He only ever made 2 comments, and I removed them. So I don't know if he or she still watches or whatever. Could have been a troll. Don't know. But my decision. That's what makes America great. We can disagree and still be buddies, still be pals and friends. At least that's the way I see it. I don't want to hate on nobody or be hateful towards nobody. Excuse me. But I hope y'all have a good weekend. I'm not going to talk all the way home. I just thought I'd ramble just for a few minutes. It's been a long week. I'm tired. And got a few things I got to do. But honestly, it's going to be kind of a relaxing weekend, with no errands to run this weekend. Just 1 or 2 little projects in the garage. One that I have to do, and one that I want to do. But I don't know if I'll do it because it'll make a mess. It's going to make a mess. I haven't made a mess with that CNC machine in a long time. But we'll see. I don't know. I wish that package was here with that trade I did. I did 2 trades with the same gentleman. He's a creator, but I didn't talk to him yet about putting his name out there, so I won't do it unless he tells me to. But I'm really excited for one of the pieces. Actually, one of the pieces more so, and then the other. So we did 2 trades. We did I traded him 2 knives for one of his that I really wanted, and then because I had sent him multiple pictures of knives I was willing to trade, so he picked out. I was like, look, I said, even if there's a couple of these you want, I was like, I'm willing to do that. So he picked out 2. I was like, absolutely, done deal. And then he's like, well, what would it take to get this knife? I was like, well, show me what you got. So he sent me multiple pictures. One of them I really fell in love with, and then one of them I just got because of the pattern. So you can probably assume what it is. It's a cool knife though. I don't have one in that series yet. So I'm really looking forward to that getting here. I wish it was already here, but I don't think it's supposed to arrive till Monday or Tuesday. So no trade knives in today unless something miraculous pops in the mailbox that I didn't know about. That has happened before, but I don't know of anything. So y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy. The weather is a little warm here, but it's not too bad. It's nice. It's pretty outside. I could go sit in the yard. Excuse me. I could sit in the yard and be comfortable. So I don't know what the weather looks like tomorrow either. But yep, my pastor's supposed to get out of the hospital today. He's been dealing with something since Sunday. I tell you, the devil's really been battling him, but that just means he's on the right track. As a church, we're on the right track. One step at a time, one day at a time, moving in the right direction. So I had mentioned Brother Seth on their live the other day about it, and he said they'd remember him in prayer, so I certainly appreciate that. I know Brother Seth and Brother Billy, they're busy. Both of them are pastors, and Brother Billy, or preacher, he runs the knife store, and then Brother Seth runs his own HVAC company, and then helps out at the knife store too. So they're both super busy, and I appreciate them. I really do. Look forward to seeing them again in Ellaville in November, Lord willing. Look forward to seeing as many as possible. Let me know if you're planning on being there. Someone had talked about getting an official list together of like content creators who were planning on being there, and that's a pretty good idea. I don't know if he ever started it. If he don't, I might do it. See if I can get a running list. So let's do that. I'll just do it even if he already started it, maybe this will help. So if you're a content creator and you are planning on going to Ellaville, like it's like, if it's your, 100%, that's your plan, let me know. If you're like a 50-50, then let me know. So I mean, I know a handful. I probably know 10 or 12 that I could rattle off pretty quick. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good old time. Good old time. Excuse me again. So yeah, really looking forward to that. We got just a couple weeks left. Man, maybe next weekend. Is next weekend? Next weekend might be our youth banquet at our church. Shoot. It might be next weekend. They're doing a skit. I don't know if I ever talked about this. The youth leader, Brother Cammy, and his wife, Sister Sharon Rose, they wanted to do a skit. And if you go back in the 90s, there was a Christian artist, and his name was Carmen. I can't pronounce his last name. It's Italian. It's like Lichiradello or Lichiricello, something like that. But Carmen was one of my favorite, still is one of my favorite solo artists. Just fantastic. He was a good man. And he tried to bring, little pop and hip hop into the songs to try to entice the younger crowd. I don't necessarily buy into that all the time, but I think it had its place. And I believe, he held a pretty good standard. He was a good guy. There was never anything, no scandals or nothing with him. I believe he was single his whole life. I might be wrong, but I think he was always single. And he had cancer, and then came through, I believe he was in remission, it was doing good, and then sometime during COVID, 21, 22, somewhere in there, he passed. I'm not sure if it was COVID or what it was. But anyways, he did a lot of almost like skit or storytelling or acting like songs. He had The Champion, which is probably his most famous, where it was like a boxing match between God and Satan. He had Satan Bite the Dust, which was like a Holy Ghost-filled preacher come into town. He's a gunfighter, and he's looking to, take Satan down in a gunfight duel. Stuff like that. Well, the one was called, I believe it's called The Courtroom, and God is the judge, Jesus is the defense attorney, Satan is the prosecuting attorney. And so Brother Cammy was trying to get volunteers, and Brother Lee, our drummer, I don't know if he volunteered or we talked him into it, but anyway, he's playing Satan. And then Brother Stephen, he's going to play Jesus. And now they're both older, and they're still single, but they're both older, late 20s and then early 30s between the two of them. None of the other young people would volunteer for anything. And it's not even hard. Like, there's no speaking roles. So basically, they're going to play the audio, and we're just kind of lip sync over it, Milli Vanilli it. And so they didn't have any volunteers. I was like, Brother Cammy, I'll help you with whatever. I was upstairs in the sound room after church talking to some brothers. We was working on something, and in the soundboard. And Brother Cammy, I was like, I'll help you with whatever you need. And he's like, well, you can play God. So I'm playing God. So I get to have a big old book, which is supposed to be like the Lamb's Book of Life, and I get to slam it down on the pulpit, which I'm comfortable behind the pulpit because I'm at the pulpit twice a week, 3 times a week when we had Sunday night services as well. So I'm comfortable up there, but apparently they got me a black judge's robe and all that. I do need to start listening to that a little more to get my timing right and make sure I exactly know the words that I'm supposed to say as God, because the way the words Carmen chose aren't exactly the way this old redneck would have spoken. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good time. So I hope I don't have to go to the banquet. I hope I can just show up, during the banquet dinner, go into the church and get ready and then do the skit. I don't want to have to go sit there with all the young people and, get dressed. I don't want to have to wear a suit. I really don't. Because So if it's a banquet, so if I wear a suit, then I'm gonna have to wear a suit and a tie, not just a suit and, you know, jacket and pants and dress shirt. So, but that's in a week or two, man. Maybe I don't know if that's October 3rd. Man, October 3rd is next weekend. It might be next weekend. I don't know if it's October 3rd or 10th. I don't remember, but it's coming up quick. So my kids all have their stuff that they're wearing for the banquet. My son, he gonna look sharp. He in a dark hunter green suit, 3-piece suit. My daughter picked like a light blue, almost baby blue dress, very, very pretty. My youngest, he don't care. Like, he's like, I'll just wear what I have. He didn't want to buy nothing new. Like, he don't even want to go. He's an introvert. He don't even want to go. But we're like, look, it's your first year. You're old enough to go as a teenager to a youth thing, so you're going. It's our church. I'm in a position. Y'all are going. You know, I hate to be that way, but you know, sometimes kids of those in position at church, you got to do what you don't like because of your parents' position. That's just the way it is. So I mean, he understands, but so him and my wife, they picked out what he's going to wear out of his closet. So he didn't want to wear a suit. He didn't want to wear a tie or nothing. So I'm not even going to make him. He just wants to go casual, Sunday morning style. I was like, that's fine. I'm not gonna fuss. Like I said, he didn't want to go anyways. When I was a teenager, I couldn't wait to go. Boy, I was getting off here 10 minutes ago, wasn't I? All right, I'm shutting up. I'm almost home now, dadgummit. Boy, I can really talk when it's just me and this doggone phone. All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Y'all be careful, be safe. As I said this morning, do something kind for someone. It goes a mighty long way. And hug your family a little tighter today. I love you. God loves you. God bless.